Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get the updates. Very excited for today's video. Beer's courtesy Hot Butcher for the World. Thanks so much for sending it. I really appreciate it. And I'm super stoked to try this. It's called Meet the Nelsons, and it's just Nelson. It's the only hop in here. It's an India Pale Ale, 6.5% ABV. It is three weeks old at time of review. Three and a half-ish, anyway. Just add Pitchfork because it looks like the American Gothic couple. Awesome can art by Dan Jetsa, as always. Really big fan of this one. But yeah, super excited. I mean, I love Nelson. It's a hop that I didn't used to get excited about, but I really like. And that white wine, that grapey thing it can kick out. Big fan of it. So super curious to see what it does on its own. You know, it's not paired with other hops. Trying to wait to look excuse me, at the tasting notes until I'm done. Yeah, it has that beautiful, beautiful orange, deep, dark orange, a little bit of yellow. It's very sunny that way. Just under a finger ahead, it's off-white. It definitely looks like, you started with white and added a little bit of orange to it. Tiny bubbles, it's compact. They're starting to break up, a little soapy on top. But yeah, definitely looks like it's in that New England style IPA family. Let's get into the aroma. So I do get some of that like white wine, lemon. I get a lot of lemon, like lemon zest, and I get that in white wine, but I get that in Nelson. But there's also this awesome dank into earthy quality. I tell you what, if I was doing this blind, I think I would say Nelson, but I would say like 50% Nelson, 50% Simcoe, because it's kicking out some of that, like, not quite cat pee, but like like that. Is it oniony or? Yeah, like a little bit of, like, when I say dank into earthy, that earthy thing, yeah, is like green oniony, a little bit of pineapple in there. And I think I'm contractually obligated to say a little bit of like orange as well. I really like that smell. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Hot Butcher. Drinks like a beer in the best possible way. Yeah, this follows the nose a lot. Plus, when I said it like it drinks like a beer, it has some of that sweetness. But man, when that bitterness kicks in, it's kind of when the white wine part of it emerges for me, which is super pleasant. Some of that lemon I was getting. But before that, I do get, like the initial sip, I get a little bit of that orange juice. I get a little bit of that pineapple. Yeah. Besides pineapple, somewhat generic tropical, almost like a powder, like how pineapple, if you buy it dried, has like a little bit of that sugar on the outside. It has like a little bit of that sort of a thing. It's delicious. But I tell you what, when the bitterness kicks in, to me, it gets way more exciting at that point, because you still have some of the lingering fruity notes and like confectionery notes. But then with that bitterness is, like I was saying, that white wine kicks in. It almost dries out a little bit, like how a white wine can kind of have that, like, not that you can taste the alcohol, but like that dry alcohol breath kind of a thing. Take away the alcohol taste of that, but it's like that kind of sensation. You get some of that earthy, herbal, not quite green onion or garlic, but like that's the closest descriptor I can think of. So then like, there's all these cool layers that still work with the initial fruity sweetness of it. The aftertaste is pretty dry, all things considered. It's a cool. I tell you what, all Nelson, like that's a trip and a half. Like I was saying, the aroma, like I could almost see how like Simcoe, would be in this beer if I was doing it blind. It's really good though. Has a nice mouthfeel. Now that I've had a couple sips, that sweetness sticks around longer. Yeah, because it's into the finish for a moment till it really dries out. At least now, I don't know. Maybe the sugar is starting to compound on my tongue or something. I don't know. But yeah, the sweet part of it is lingering. But that other cool stuff when the bitterness comes in still kicks in. So it makes for like, it's very cohesive, but definitely like a complex experience, which is really cool. I'm I try not to say complex too much especially if I don't think I did a good job of explaining what was complex about it. So I hope I did. Yeah, this is a good beer. All right, what does this say? Sweet white grape, ripe mango, juicy grapefruit. Interesting. I'm not surprised they're sweet white grape. I think I kind of hit that, especially after I had a couple sips, where like initially I thought that white wine thing was dry, relatively dry. There's like a little fuzz. I don't know what to call in the beer. But then that sweetness starts kind of like sticking around longer. So like I think that's how we're describing the same thing in similar ways but different. Ripe mango. I mean, I get this generic tropical thing. To me, it was, if anything specific, it was pineapple. I mean, okay, fair enough. I wouldn't have said mango, but I get it. Again, when I say generic pine or generic tropical, some sort of, mashup of like mango, papaya, guava, maybe even some passion fruit. It's like, and maybe even other things, and maybe not all of those things at the same time, but it's kind of like, not distinctively one or more of those, but kind of like, oh, you could tell me, I put three pieces of each thing in my mouth and was chewing. Like, yeah, it's just kind of generically tropical at this point. Anyway, and then juicy grapefruit. I think my orange and lemon could get you to grapefruit. So like, I get that too, but again, I mean, clearly I wouldn't have said grapefruit because I didn't say grapefruit. Yeah, cool. Yeah. And I wasn't even going to say anything, but I really am enjoying not reading their tasting notes till after I explain what I taste. I think that's a much cooler experience. So anyway, glad I'm doing it that way now. Have you had this beer before? Have you had a single hopped beer in a while? Have you had one specifically with Nelson? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. There's no hype beer reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.